Hello, this is Friday Night Taiwan, and I wanted to welcome you to my ultimate review of Katsuhiro Otomo's Akira. Now, you might remember about a couple months ago, I think it was a couple months ago, I made a video on my iPhone saying that I was going to review this manga and film based on, this is probably considered one of the greatest manga of all time and probably one of the most remembered anime films of all time. Now, Katsuhiro Otomo's Akira. This is, wow. I'm even surprised I'm doing this now because I've been waiting to do this. I've been busy with other stuff, but now I think it's time for me to do this because finally this past week I was able to read the final volume. I've seen the movie so many times, so let's get on with the story itself. So, Katsuhiro Otomo's Akira is based on the story of pretty much a post-apocalyptic Tokyo, which is called Neo-Tokyo. Now, our main characters are Kaida, who is pretty much our protagonist of the story, and our antagonist is Tetsuo. Now, of course, many of you have seen the movie, but right now I'm talking about the manga, so here we go. Pretty much, main story is our antagonist, Tetsuo, discovers that he has strange psychokinetic powers, I think. Yeah, strange psychokinetic powers. And what happens is, he ends up being taken by a organization that deals with these certain people that have these same type of powers. But they might not be the same, but they are psychokinetic powers. So pretty much what happens at first is that Kaida wants to try to stop Tetsuo from taking over the world, but pretty much it ends up that Tetsuo finds out about a being named Akira, who was responsible for making this huge explosion on Tokyo, which had to be rebuilt as Neo-Tokyo after the Third World War. Now, this is probably going to be interesting because this manga was written in the 80s, so pretty much the date for how this event happening was put in the manga as 1992. So, what happens is that after Tetsuo releases Akira, there's this huge explosion just like the last time. And pretty much there's a devastated Neo-Tokyo, which is split into two parts. And pretty much Tetsuo, along with Akira, controls one part of Tokyo, while the resistance fighters are on the other side. Now, I don't want to give too much away. I only probably gave about half of the story away a little bit. Again, I'm wanting to say sorry for the spoilers, but I'm not going to give too much away, but the story itself has a lot of great characters. Great characters. Even if you read the manga, you're going to end up loving it. And of course, the manga is pretty graphic. Really bloody, really. There are some moments where you do see some nudity here and there. Most of it's female nudity. It's not that bad. Not that bad, but like the manga itself is, well, when it was re-released here in the States, it was rated 16 up, but I think 17 and up would be the better rating for it. Now, speaking of volume with the manga itself, the manga was pretty epic. It was pretty long. It was over, altogether it would be over 2,000 pages. Not kidding. I'm not kidding about that. And of course, there's the volumes. Now, when the volumes were released, they were released in 6 individual volumes. And I'm not talking about little volumes like this. Not like this release of Dragon Ball. No, no, no. What I'm talking about with volumes are these. These are the Akira volumes of the manga. No joke. These are, they're pretty big. They're about the size of actual novels. And the designs are awesome. I mean, really, it isn't, I mean, especially opening much of the volumes. Now, I'm probably going to open it to the first page, I think. Like, the designs are pretty great. Let me see here. Where's my favorite moment in this volume? I mean, the designs are pretty fantastic. I mean, look, that is, and this is in fact Katsuhiro Otomo's work. And of course, this is translated to English. So, I mean, to give you a look at all 6 volumes, they are pretty nice, pretty thick on each side. I would have to say that, a good chunk of the story, just build it up, it's within the first 3 volumes. And it is the first 3 volumes that are pretty much the halfway point. And then it goes to the final 3 volumes. And the final 3 volumes are a little bit thicker than the other 3. And I mean, it's a great series. Great manga to read, and it's pretty epic. I'm not kidding. It is epic. Like I said, over 2,000 pages. Thing is not a big deal. These are, actually, I ordered all these together off of Amazon. I am not kidding. They came in a huge box on Amazon when I ordered them. Now, I think now that I got to the manga, now I can go to the movie. Alright. And of course, I have it on DVD. Katsuhiro Otomo's film adaptation of his own manga. And I gotta tell you, this movie is pretty good. Now, to give you some advice, the manga and the film are entirely different. Although they have some of the same characters, they're entirely different with story, much of the plot here and there. They made some changes here and there, but of course they still follow the same type of story, but not really. I would say they took the first 3 volumes and then they cut out part of it and put like the last good chunk of volume 6 in there. No joke. But that doesn't mean I hate the movie. I love the movie. I love the movie. Now, pretty much the movie is rated R due to all the violence in there. But I mean, pretty much with the movie itself, a lot of people consider it an abridged version of the manga. It's cut down, condensed, I mean, and they make a lot of changes. There's a lot of changes, which makes the film pretty abridged. But I wouldn't really call it abridged, though. I mean, they just did a lot of changes. And I mean, and actually, whenever you watch the movie, it's pretty impressive of what they did with the animation. I mean, it's a cornerstone of Japanese animation. It actually, when it was in Japan, it wasn't really that successful at the box office. But when it came here to the United States, it was actually pretty successful. This is actually the one film that helped bring a lot of Japanese anime to the United States. And this was the 80s, I'm telling you. It was the 1980s. And it was actually during the 90s. Now, this film was actually released in 1988 in Japan. But it was brought here to the U.S. from, of course, not a lot of people can tell, but it was from either 1989 to 1990. And it was during the 90s where they were bringing a whole bunch of Japanese anime. Well, of course, there was some certain anime shows that were brought here, and they were edited down to make into television shows for English, and for American audiences. They dubbed them into English, and they changed the whole story. They edited out a whole bunch of violence and changed their names into something completely different. I mean, but Akira itself was the main one that actually brought anime to the United States, that helped make it successful at first. And then of course, if it wasn't for Akira, I mean, a lot of Japanese animated films would not be here in the United States. I'm not even kidding about that. And of course, I know this isn't really that much of a great review. I'm just doing a little bit of analysis here and there. But of course, the one thing I love about this movie is its soundtrack. Yes, I have the soundtrack to this film, and I love the soundtrack to this film. It is amazing. I mean, and actually the truth was, the soundtrack was actually made right before the film was even finished in its animation process. The music had to be edited to fall within the film. And of course, the other cool thing about the movie was, it was the first time the dialogue was recorded before the animation, which was actually a first to Japanese animation, because normally the animation would have been done first, and then they would do the voice acting. No joke. No joke. For those of you who do not know a lot about Japanese animation, I'm not even kidding right there. Wow, you know, I know I might have messed up a few times in this video, but I mean, I'm just doing this all in one take. I mean, actually, the truth is, here's my recommendations. If you want to read the manga, get the manga. The best place to get it is sites like Amazon, and I mean, and they make some pretty good deals. I mean, although, I mean, if you like what I did was I got like 3 copies, so I can get free shipping on them. I mean, getting all these at one time, I mean, that raises a lot of tax if Amazon puts tax on anyone with, I mean, if your state is one of those states that have to pay taxes for purchases on Amazon, it's going to raise up the tax a bit. But I mean, getting these are worth it. If you want to watch, if you're a big fan of anime, I would watch the movie, because it's a pretty groundbreaking anime film. And of course, with me, my personal recommendation, watch the movie. Actually, read the manga first, then watch the movie. And if you like the sound, and if you're like me, like soundtracks of films, get the soundtrack as well. I mean, that is pretty much my own take about the whole Akira series. The whole Akira storyline and recommendations. Well, I think I've got to the end of this video, so I don't know what I'm going to review next time, so pretty much this has been Friday 1991, and I'm signing off.